People come to running for a lot of different reasons. Some of us come to running to try to be fast. Some of us come to running to try to lose weight. And then some of us, as we wanted to be fast originally, as we get older, come back to running because we want to continue to lose weight. Well, I'm Jesse Funk, and today we're going to talk about whether running does or does not burn fat. If you're of a similar demographic as me, male in your 30s, you may have recently seen these ads from I'll call him a trainer. Let's call him Jack. I'm going to give a stock photo to represent Jack. I won't actually pull his ads. These ads have been playing on YouTube to me, and he starts off by saying, everybody knows cardio burns fat, right? Wrong. Cardio doesn't burn fat. And it just screams to me, bullshit. Like, it's one of those things where he's trying to catch your attention to sell you something, but the whole premise that cardio does not burn fat is just a falsehood, and I want to shake this guy. So we're starting the video off, and I'm just giving you the answer. Of course it does, but if you see something like that, please do a little bit of research and know that he's not telling the truth. He just wants to sell you his system or his video course or whatever it is. But you don't have to take my word for it. Fortunately, for you and for me, because I benefit from this, I have another show called the Smart Athlete Podcast, where I interview experts that have come from a variety of fields. Sometimes they're academics, sometimes they're pro athletes that are also academics, sometimes they do research into physiology. It's a whole plethora of people. Now, recently I spoke with Scott Johnston, author of The Uphill Athlete. Scott specializes in working with cross-country skiers, mountaineers, these kind of people, but the principles of endurance training are the same, whether we're talking about my Triathlete's Training Bible from Joe Friel, or we're talking about Scott Johnston's Uphill Athlete. A lot of the principles are going to be seen in both books because, as Scott says in my interview with him, training for endurance is training for your endurance. Your body doesn't know the difference between let's go skiing and let's go running for 2 hours, and in either case, it's going to be the same thing. But the point here that I'd like to make with running does burn fat is because fat adaptation is a huge part of becoming a better runner. And the core of what fat adaptation is training your body to burn fat more efficiently, more effectively. At low speeds, say our long run pace, our aerobic pace, we burn fat as a primary source of fuel. So there was the whole crux of my argument against, did I call him Jack? Get Jack off the screen. He says, cardio doesn't burn fat. Well, fat is our primary source of fuel when we're working at low speeds. And when we're talking about becoming faster and becoming more effective in our fuel burning, we want to burn fat at higher speeds, which is where that fat adaptation comes in. Now, if you want to see the whole interview with Scott, I will link here at the end of the video coming up shortly. You can check out all the recommendations that Scott makes, and then maybe check out his book, The Uphill Athlete. But know that, yes, running does burn fat. No matter whatever YouTube ad muscle guy is trying to tell you or tell me, it does in fact burn fat. And if you want to use running to lose weight, it's perfectly fine. There are other factors that may go into that depending on how much you weigh, as far as recovery, issues with joints, those kinds of things. It's outside of the scope of this particular video, but yes, it does. I can't emphasize it enough. So check out my interview with Scott. See all of the tips he has for you about training as an endurance athlete, regardless of whether you're running, like here with me, or you're going out cross-country skiing like many of Scott's athletes, including his Olympians. Check that interview out, and I'll see you next time on the next episode of Runner's High.